Hi, Oakstead families. It's me, Mrs. Steinecker.
And Mrs. Stein.
We are just recording what we sent to you in an email. We have some updates that we want to share with everybody, and we want to make sure that we are able to share it with all of you in a way that really kind of gets to all the details. So go ahead.
So first we want to start with ELA. And in ELA, we wanted to let you know that kindergarten through second grade, they're going to have one lesson per week, and they want them to spend 2 days on that lesson. That's in their modules. So because they're kind of bringing that down to just 2 days that week, they're encouraging primary students, the K through 2 students, to be on Smarty Ants for 15 minutes each day, because that is crucial foundational skills. And we want to make sure that that is what they're keeping up with. So 15 minutes a day on Smarty Ants, and then, you know, there'll be less work in the actual ELA module for them. For 3rd through 5th, we really want you to understand that there's 2 lessons per week, and those really should be spread out over 4 days. So each lesson should also take them 2 different days. And so that might help with our thinking as well as we map that out. This is new curriculum to all of us, as you know, and so we're just working through it together. The district is listening, as well as, you know, all of us here at Oakstead.
So there's also been some adjustments. You've already seen some this week where they had gone through the modules and identified some of the must-do problems, which reduced the amount of work that was being done on the problem sets and things like that. But the key piece is that the district has removed the mid modules and end of modules throughout the units, and we really, you know, they did this with the understanding that the rigor of those assessments really isn't appropriate for distance learning. It is something that is really meant for in the classroom where the teachers are side by side with your children, working with them. So you'll see those removed. And we're going to talk a little bit more about like that focus of learning. And so with these changes that the district has made, they really took into account a lot of what you've been speaking to us and emailing us about. So, you know, and that moves on to the other content areas.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you think about the special areas, I want you to know, first of all, that the music, PE, and art teachers, they want to be a part of this. They want the kids to know that they're out there, and they want to be able to, you know, help them with activities. And some of those activities are really away from the computer, which I think is a great piece as well. But we also want you to know that math and ELA are the most important pieces, and they understand that as well. So you might want to look at doing like 1 special or 2 specials, like either music or art or whatever your kid loves, as well as maybe keeping up with that PE log, just because it's really good for them to do that. So we don't want to add more on, but we also want you to know that, you know, that is there for your child, because sometimes they really thrive in those areas.
And, you know, when Ms. Stein and I have spoken to many of you or reached out through email or something, we definitely want you to know that we are not in any way wanting anybody to not follow the order to stay at home. If there are materials required for something, we do not want you to go out and get them. We've had those conversations with all the teachers as well. We've really been trying to spend some time creating a consistency across the school, especially when it comes to our next topic of discussion, which is the focus on learning versus grades. We know that many of you have been really working with your children and helping them, you know, guiding them through the completion of assignments, getting those assignments uploaded. You know, as we move forward and you see that the amount of work reduced as the modules the number of modules are reduced, we really want to encourage you to really focus on the learning and allowing your child to really be able to show what they've learned through the process of the online course. So, you know, and your teachers, your child's teacher knows what they've been doing for the last 3 weeks of school. So it's really, we just want to continue to encourage you to allow them that opportunity to, you know, show their original work as they move forward. So we're really focusing, the teachers will be really focusing on how has that child learned, being giving more specific feedback to your child. What might they need to work on? What have they missed? What more can they be learning? But the teachers are also taking that information and coming up with ways that they can connect with groups of students, their classes, and really help to clear up some of that learning and misconceptions that are happening. But we also want to make sure that we really want families to focus on those content areas that really are essential as your child gets ready to move on to that next grade level. The learning in reading and math are foundational for them and their success as they move on to the next grade level, especially in reading, as we see children progressively grow and from being learning to read to, you know, reading to learn as they transition into third, fourth, and fifth. We cannot have those gaps in that learning. And so, you know, in the classroom, we focus on that. So that's why we really want you to, you know, give that attention and ensuring that your child is set up for the next grade level.
Yeah. So we've also heard, you know, that you're getting information from a lot of different areas, and we want you to know that the calls that we've had with parents and the Zooms that we've opened up to you, you know, those have all been optional, and we're hopefully, you know, there to just support you, and you know that. But we have heard you, and we understand that there's a lot of information coming at you. And so we have actually asked the grade levels to work on their own web page that will house information that you as parents will want to know. Like, for example, the pacing guide for the week and the must-dos for the week. And so all of that information is actually going to be right on our Oakstead homepage. And it'll be like the first link, the first important link will be to grade level websites. And then you can go into those websites and see that information, so that really we're kind of shifting where the student works in My Learning, and you're able to go to the website to get the majority of your information. And you know, so that, and teachers are starting to kind of shift over and be available more on Zoom as well. They've been really talking about different ways to do that. So I think that'll be very good for your children too, as well. And we just want to make sure though that you're gonna, you know, we can start utilizing that website to help have a quick place for you to go, especially if you have multiple children in different grade levels.
So, you know, parents, just to kind of make that, we really saw so much happening within My Learning in the announcements that we really thought that this might be a way to make it accessible to you outside of the My Learning course. And depending on what your grade level needs were how those teams tailored it. They knew what they had been providing, what resources you were looking for, and so those school team pages really are tailored to what has been happening and being included in the announcement sections within the courses. So that information won't be there anymore. It will be on those school pages, and our plan is to get them up by next week. So please look for those. Just a couple housekeeping things that I want to also share. There are many of you that purchased a Relay for Life t-shirt. We are in the process of refunding those charges back to credit cards. Those that paid by check or by cash, checks will be cut and mailed out to families. We're hoping that will happen this week on Tuesday, but hopefully no later than the following week. And then one other question that we keep getting is about pictures. With the stay-at-home order, we are unable to make those pictures available at this time. As we move forward and we find out a little bit more of what is what's happening and what decisions are made as to the remainder of the school year, we will come up with a way to get those home. But we also have families that will have yearbooks, we have t-shirts, we have different things. And so we're going to, cost wise, to be able to get a bulk rate, they will be sent home at one time. So we're looking, yearbooks will probably be we're hoping first or second week in May. And if we're at school, they'll come home that way. If not, then we will work on getting packages together so we can mail them home to families. If you have questions about anything included in this email or if you're watching the video, please feel free to email myself or Mrs. Stein. We are always here for you.
Absolutely.
We do appreciate all of your feedback, and we understand that this is a difficult time for everybody, but the teachers really know and have seen, how much you're supporting your child. They know they're really problem solving and how they can alleviate some of that and kind of enrich what's happening a little bit more as we move forward. But we do appreciate the positive feedback. We appreciate those of you who are reaching out for support as well, or making sure to let us know some struggles that are still happening.
Absolutely. And the positive notes have really made a difference for the teachers and the staff, and so we really do appreciate that. Thank you.
So parents, just again, reach out. We hope stay safe, and we will see you soon. Have a great evening or day, depending on what time you're watching this.
And weekend.
Oh, and happy Easter, happy spring for those of you who celebrate that. But just know we miss you all. Thank you, everybody.